seeking to prohibit political dynasties in the Philippines. According to former Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, there is sufficient basis to implement the ban up to the fourth degree of consanguinity. This means spouses, siblings, parents, and children, first cousins, as well as uncles, aunts, and nephews or nieces would be barred from running simultaneously in national and local elections. Only one candidate per family would be allowed to run for the national office and one for local office. Succession would also be prohibited, meaning once an official completes a term, they cannot be immediately replaced by a relative. A one-term break would be required before a family member could run again after skipping an election.
The Constitution recognizes that the fourth degree of consanguinity can be a limitation on appointment. Under the Constitution, the President cannot appoint relatives by consanguinity or affinity within the fourth civil degree.
Retired Supreme Court Associate Justice Adolfo Azcuna agrees there should be a gap to prevent succession within political families, requiring at least one term of rest. However, he believes limiting the ban to the second degree of consanguinity would be more doable in dismantling political dynasties, especially in the provinces. Azcuna warned that extending the ban up to the fourth degree could be an overreach and difficult to implement, particularly in verifying relationships among thousands of candidates.
We must not forget that there is an enforcement side to the definition, and 4 degrees might be an overreach and difficult to implement in view of the thousands of candidates involved, and verification of the relationship may be difficult.
Azcuna also said one point of contention is whether the ban should apply only to local positions, leaving the final decision to lawmakers.
More or less, Your Honors, this type of arrangement is safer constitutionally rather than an ambitious one that will cover up to 4 degrees, all kinds of offices. It might be considered as an overbreadth a kind of legislation and therefore constitutionally defective.
Caloocan Representative EDSA also expressed doubts about implementing a fourth-degree ban, saying a second-degree limit may be a workable compromise. Carpio, however, maintained that the fourth degree is not new, noting that the Constitution and existing laws already prohibit appointments and conflicts of interest involving relatives up to the fourth degree. But EDSA argued that enforcement is easier in appointments than in the filing of certificates of candidacy.
It's very easy to the appointing authority can really investigate who are relatives in fourth degree of consanguinity and affinity. But in the filing of candidacy, in the filing of certificate of candidacy, medyo komplikado.
Carpio responded that rules can be set, such as recognizing the first to file and imposing strict penalties for violations to ensure compliance. Meanwhile, Akbayan Party List Representative Chel Jokno proposed amending the Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth or SALN law to require government officials to disclose a family tree.
That way, we could cover all the bases. Ang pag-file ng isang kandidato, sasabihin niya, wala po akong ibang kasama na sa pamilya within the fourth degree, at matcha-check natin po yan sa kanyang SALN.
So far, 22 anti-political dynasty bills have been filed in the House of Representatives. The House Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms will conduct public consultations in various parts of the country, starting in Cavite this Thursday, followed by Cebu and Cagayan de Oro.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has formally dismissed 2 impeachment complaints against President Bongbong Marcos. In the plenary vote, 284 lawmakers approved the dismissal of the complaints, while 8 opposed and 4 abstained. This comes after the members of the House Justice Committee determined that the complaints were sufficient in form but insufficient in substance. The motion to dismiss was supported by several parties in the House, including the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, the Nationalist People's Coalition, and Lakas CMD.
Walang naipakitang overt act na personal na maiugnay sa Pangulo. The President's creation of an ICI, allegedly to shield corrupt allies, does not amount to a culpable violation of the Constitution. In fact, by creating the ICI, the President faithfully followed his constitutional mandate.
It does not clear the President's name. Tulad ng mga ghost projects na pinakamalaking scam sa ating kasaysayan, ang hilaw na pagbasurang ito sa impeachment ay multo na babalik ng babalik at ibabato ng ibabato sa Pangulo.
Let's get more updates from the House of Representatives. Mobile journal Amy Atienza is now reporting live on the ground. Amy, what's the latest?
Yes, good morning, Angela Diego. Kahapon nga sa House of Representatives nagkaroon na ng botohan dun nga sa committee report na isinumite ng House Justice Committee sa pangunguna ni Chairperson Jervy Luistro. At narinig na rin naman natin yung iba't ibang manifestations ng mga kongresista. Meron dyan na 8 talaga na nag-oppose nga doon sa pag-declare na insufficient in substance nga yung second impeachment complaint na inendorso ng Makabayan Bloc Representatives. So maya-maya abangan natin magkakaroon din ng press conference ang Makabayan Bloc para nga mas mahimay pa kung ano nga ba yung stand nila dahil kahapon dun sa plenaryo 2 minutes lang yung ibinigay sa kanila para nga magsalita at magkaroon ng manifestation tungkol doon nga sa committee report na ipinasa ng House Justice Committee sa plenaryo. Angela, Diego?
Amy, clarify ko lang, ano yung final vote ulit? Ano yung numbers?
284 yung affirmative. Bale, ang motion dito ay kung i-dismiss na yung dalawang impeachment complaints laban kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. At yun nga, 284 ang affirmative, 8 negative, habang 4 naman yung nag-abstain doon nga sa naging motion at sa pinopose ni Representative Luistro. So diyan na-discuss din noon na hindi naman daw kasi, nasabi na hindi naman daw kasi parang sufficient in substance nga yung mga ipinresentang reklamo at yun nga dahil hindi daw na-align doon sa mga grounds for impeachment tulad na lang ng culpable violation of the Constitution at betrayal of public trust. So sinasabi nila na allegationally insubstantial yung itong mga inihaing reklamo.
Amy, si Congressman Sandro Marcos ba ay nag-abstain ng vote?
Well, wala tayong nakuha na list kung sino-sino nga ba yung mga nag-abstain, sino yung mga negative yung vote at affirmative. Ang nakita lang din natin talaga yung manifestations ng iba't ibang mga kongresista. Isa na nga rin dyan sa mga nag-no, aside from sa Makabayan Bloc Representatives, pati na rin doon kay Representative Laila de Lima, ay si Sagip Party List Representative Paulo Henry Marcoleta, kung saan nga sinasabi niya na naniniwala din siya na yung mga naipresentang salaysay ng mga pangyayari doon sa mga reklamo ay sufficient naman at baka maaari pang mag-proceed nga itong impeachment. Pero dahil nga sa overwhelming number din ng mga kongresistang naging affirmative no sa decision, ay patuloy na dinismiss na or binasura na sa Kamara itong dalawang impeachment complaints. So ibig sabihin din yan na doon sa magsisimula na yung 1-year ban rule at January 26, 2027 na muli pwede mag-file ng impeachment complaint. Kung meron mang magpa-file muli ng impeachment complaint laban kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Alright, so kamusta naman yung 3 impeachment complaints filed against Vice President Sara Duterte? Ano na yung status? Nasa ang stage na tayo?
Kahapon, na-anunsyo na nga ng Office of the House Secretary General na na-transmit na din yung 3rd impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte naman sa Office of the Speaker. So 3 na yung 3 impeachment complaints ay technically nasa Office of the Speaker na at inaasahan nga daw na baka today ay magkakaroon na ng referral sa House Justice Committee itong mga impeachment complaints at yun nga kung may lalagay na nga rin yan sa order of business. So yan ang antabayanin din natin ngayong hapon, lalo na sa plenaryo dahil expected din actually kahapon magsisimula yung referral pero dahil naging mahaba yung deliberasyon din doon nga sa impeachment complaints laban kay PBBM, expected na today na lang mailalagay nga sa order of business. And yun din, same process na once may lagay din sa order of business yan today, February 11, bawal na muling mag-file ulit ng impeachment complaint na bago against Vice President Sara Duterte. So ganun yung magiging sistema no ng one-year ban rule.
And for the benefit of our viewers, ano yung kumbaga yung pagkakapare-pareha at pinagkaiba nitong tatlong complaints na to against impeachment complaint against Vice President?
Technically speaking, wala naman daw talaga syadong pinagkakaiba itong tatlong impeachment complaints. Ang pinaka dinadali dito no ay yung sa graft and corruption nga dahil nga sa paggamit ng confidential funds na umaabot ng over 600 million pesos sa Office of the Vice President pati sa Department of Education. Nakita rin natin at narinig natin no doon sa after mag-file ng mga complainants na dinagdag din talaga nila yung testimony ni alleged former bagman at aide ni VP Sara na si Ramil Madriaga kung saan sinasabi niya nga na funded daw by drug dealers tsaka pogos in 2022 electoral campaign ni VP Sara. So yun na yung talaga nagiging linya no ng impeachment complaints. Pero meron din tayong nakita na parang panibagong offense or recital of fact doon sa third impeachment complaint kung saan nadali din no yung temperamental instability daw ni VP Sara na sinasabing mas kilala daw ang Vice Presidente sa kanyang emotional outbursts kaysa nga doon sa kanyang performance bilang vice.
Yung interesting yung temperamental instability, saan nakatuon yung evidence na yan? Is this the one na nag-rant siya about supposedly hiring assassins against the president? Nandun pa ba yung charge na yon?
Nakita din natin yung correlation niyan dahil nga nasabi na yung grave threat of to high-rank officials ay bahagi nga din ng impeachment complaint. So, interrelated yung recital of facts na nakapaloob nga doon sa impeachment complaint. Kaya yun, kung maalala natin, no, nagkaroon ng Zoom press conference itong si VP Sara. At yun nga na kilala din naman siya kahit online ay kumalat yung mga statement niya. So, ayun yung isa sa mga nagiging rason kung bakit nga sa tingin nila ay isang impeachable offense at nararapat na rin i-impeach talaga si VP Sara.
Alright, maraming salamat Mobile Journal, Amy Atienza.
The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee has revised its report on the flood control scandal, recommending preliminary investigations instead of criminal charges against several officials, including 3 incumbent senators. Mobile journalist Mary Monreyes has the report.
When the draft partial Blue Ribbon Committee report was leaked last week, it revealed the recommendation of criminal charges against several officials, including 3 incumbent senators. Chis Escudero, Jinggoy Estrada, and Joey Villanueva were supposed to face plunder, malversation of public funds, direct bribery, and other charges over allegations that they received kickbacks from flood control projects. Others who were recommended charged are former Senator Bong Revilla and former Representative Zaldico and Mitch Kahayun-Uy, but that leaked report has since been revised. Instead of charges, the committee report now states that it recommended the conduct of further investigation or case build-up against the said officials. Quite a turnaround for observers. But for Blue Ribbon Committee Chair and Senate President Pro Tempore Ping Lacson, there is no substantive changes at all to the initial draft. The upper chamber's majority bloc merely suggested tweaking the language of the report.
Bakit yung language? Do they find it offensive?
Well, ganito no, yung connotation. Halimbawa, do sa draft na initially routed, merong word doon na charge, no? Recommended to be charged. Sa layman, pag sinabing charge, para nasa korte na. Hindi naman namin pwedeng i-recommend sa court na i-charge sa court kasi only the DOJ and the Ombudsman are authorized to file the information for any person to be charged before the court, di ba? So kinorek lang namin yon. Ito yung tumama sa sensitivity ng ibang mga kasama namin na pag-charge. Pakasipin ng mga tao, chinag-charge na sa korte.
Despite the changes in the initial committee report, Lacson maintained that the recommendation of his panel did not weaken at all. The senator likewise denied that the revisions were made because of supposed discontent in the minority bloc or due to the reported foiled coup against Senate President Tito Soto. Escudero, Estrada, and Villanueva belong to the Senate opposition.
Nothing to do with the supposed coup against SP?
Wala.
Yung pag-change ng language?
Ano yun? Sa majority pa lang yun. My own colleagues in the majority, nagsuggest sila, baka naman pwedeng isopen na hindi masacrifice yung intent. Hindi mababago yung substance. Kasi sabi ko may baseline ako di ba? Bottom line ko, hindi ko talaga i-report out yung hindi ako naniniwala.
The revised Senate Blue Ribbon Report has drawn mixed reactions. Ombudsman Boying Remulla attributed it to politics, but he still believes Lacson did a great job with the flood control scandal probe and that the committee's findings would still be helpful in going after those implicated in the mess.
It's politics. Ano na yan eh? What is acceptable to all or to most is the most important thing. Kasi nga, nagkakapersonalan, siyempre may mga kaibigan yan sa loob na pipirma, wag lang nalagay yung pangalan. Gano'n yan. May negotiation yan. May compromise yan. Pero, at least, yung pagkapangalan sa kanila tsaka yung records intact. Ang mahalaga dyan, yung records ng Blue Ribbon Committee tsaka lahat ng testimonies niya. Yun ang mahalaga. Yung report niya kasi, anti-climactic yan eh. Kung ano alam natin, yun na yun eh.
The next few months will be exciting. That's according to Ombudsman Boying Remulla as his office gears up for a big push on corruption cases that he said are now ripening. Remulla made the remarks in a press conference after speaking at the office's strategic and operational planning session in Baguio City. He said investigators are strengthening and organizing evidence to ensure cases are properly presented once filed.
So it's really more of us sorting out the evidence and making sure that we're able to present them properly. And we're doing a lot of, we're conducting a lot of research, legal research, not only here but internationally.
Now, to help us unpack the latest political developments, we are joined by Octa Research Fellow, Professor Guido David. Prof, thank you for joining us once again.
Good morning.
And Angela, and to our viewers and listeners.
Go ahead.
All right, a recent survey by Octa, you guys found that the majority of Filipinos trust the government. What does this tell us?
It's actually good news for the government. So this is according to the December 3 to 11 survey with 1,200 respondents nationwide. And we found na 55% of Filipinos believe that the government, the national government, can solve the problems that we are facing. So only 20% did not have that confidence, and the rest, 25%, were undecided.
Okay, so this survey doesn't, in other words, the personalities inside the government don't impact this survey. In other words, is this like a government as a whole? Is that what it means?
It should be the government as a whole. The question was phrased as is naman, so we did not elaborate specifically. We just said that it's the government. So it's similar to questions about like if the country is headed in the right direction, something like that. So, but it does speak well for the administration, for the Marcos administration, if the public has the confidence that the administration will solve its problems.
Pero what's interesting here, Prof, nakita ko kasi yesterday yung report na to. Aside from that, 6 of 10 Filipinos feel unheard by politicians. So parang merong disconnect, no? What can you tell us about this? Kasi may disconnect from may trust yung Pilipino sa government, pero sa mga politicians, they feel they are unheard.
Yes, and that one was a companion question. Ang specific question dun is if they feel heard of by their local government.
Elected.
So, right, yeah. So it's more of maybe the kasama dyan yung province, so maybe from the governor level to the mayor to the congressman, area representatives, local congressmen, maybe even up to the barangay captains. So the dissatisfaction is in that area. So
Okay.
it's actually surprising na may disconnect, as Angela mentioned. So 6 out of 10, and only 31% had the confidence of the local government.
So, Prof, is this tantamount to saying that when we're talking about they're trusting in the government, we're talking about the executive department, and because the distrust comes to the legislature, so we're talking about the senators, congressmen, or even the mayors. Parang ganun ba ang nangyayari?
Well, I'm not sure if we could count where we could count the senators, if they could be considered part of the local government. But definitely kasama dyan yung mga mayors and the barangay captains, maybe councilors, etc. But this is a very general one, so we can pinpoint which localities kunyari are not having the confidence of their constituents. But what we can say, siguro, what we can infer from this is that the programs of the national government may be more appreciated by the public than some of the local programs. And let's remember, these things like the flood control issue, this is more of a local problem. Not all localities have flooding problems, and not all are involved in the corruption scandal so far. So ibig sabihin, iba-iba. So that means maybe they, as a whole, they view the local, legislature as, not as trustworthy, whereas the national one, I mean, and to be fair, the president's the one who exposed the corruption scandal. So maybe that's why they have more confidence in the national government. And the president is medyo hands-on right now. I mean, some secretaries have been removed from their position. So it means that he's, at least doing the part of, trying to make sure and ensure that the public receives the, at least what the public deserves. I mean, we're seeing some infrastructure projects. Inflation has stabilized. So some of these programs now, generally sa national, have been addressed.
Was there a particular issue, Prof, dun sa survey na mention ng mga correspondents na they feel nga they are unheard? Anong particular issue yun?
Well, unfortunately, it was just a single question. So we cannot, siguro, when we do a more detailed discussion, siguro, maybe in a future survey, we can ask, kasi this is very interesting and this is very informative. So what you want to know, Angela, is also what we want to know. So what specific issues? Is it related to flood control? Is it related to ayuda? I mean, sometimes we hear these
prices.
Yes,
mga ganyan.
Prices, right? Baka may mga minsan may mga hoarding na nangyayari sa local level. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't have eyes on the locality. So yun nga, I'm just speaking in general terms. But I hear that, sometimes may mga distribution ng support, ayuda, but hindi nabibigay lahat, sa mga citizens. And sometimes, even our DILG secretary imposed or implemented the anti-EPAL law. So maybe that's part of the dissatisfaction. So we're not sure, but definitely these are factors that could be relevant as far as the local citizens are concerned. Yes.
Well, Prof, now given that this survey was taken December, and the question in the premise of the question was trusting the government's ability. Now, moving forward, if let's say 3 months from now they are unable to resolve all these issues that there was trust for in the first place, do you think these big numbers could also be a big backlash para sa gobyerno?
Of course, yes. These numbers are very elastic and they're very dynamic. So if the public is not seeing results, I mean, we're seeing results in some areas. Pero right now, the focus is on the flood control, and if people are not jailed. And we're not saying that there should be. I mean, that it's a requirement that there's a timetable. We respect the respective offices to conduct their investigations at their own pace and do their due diligence. Pero at the same time, the patience of the public will be tested, and they can only wait so much. So syempre, at some point there will be a point wherein they might not be
Pero
so patient anymore, and this might reflect on the numbers.
right. So collectively, Prof, this survey shows that most Filipinos trust the institution more than the individual politician. Kumbaga, hopeful sila, pero at the same time frustrated.
Yes, probably a good summary of what we found sa survey. Angelo.
And Prof, also, kaklarify ko lang about how strong also yung Mindanao area is on their belief that the government will solve their problems. Collectively, Mindanao as a whole.
Actually, it's surprising kasi the lowest trust we saw is in NCR at 49%.
NCR.
So Mindanao actually has a higher trust in the national government. Yeah, I think it was 58%. But highest was in Visayas at 68%. So it's surprising that sa NCR and Balanced Luzon was where we were seeing lower numbers, considering if we were just to think of where the president's support lies, and it's mostly in NCR and Balanced Luzon. But they're actually more critical pa nga.
Clarify ko lang, Prof. No? The question was the government. It didn't say national government as a whole. Pwede kaya ang nasa isip ng mga survey, nag-answer ng survey sa Mindanao, baka, like for example, sa Davao, yung Davao City government ang trust nila.
No, I think it's specific na it's national government.
Okay. So that's surprising.
It's surprising. And the second question was the local government, and where in the trust was only 31%.
Oh, interesting.
Or at least the fact that they feel that they're not being heard by their local government. So this is actually an interesting result.
So does this say anything about...
Despite, for example, numbers...
Go ahead, Prof.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, Prof.
Yeah, despite, for example, for example, despite other data showing that the trust in the president is quite low in Mindanao, they trust the national government pa rin, even more than in NCR. So this is actually a surprising result.
And this could actually affect, do you think, possible outcome in the 2028 national elections?
Definitely, this is a factor, but there will be a multitude of factors for the 2028 elections. And let's remember, the vice president is still very popular in Mindanao. So, and she might be viewed as part of the administration, and that's why we're seeing those numbers. So it's difficult to tell based on this, the data alone.
All right. With that, maraming salamat as always sa mga insight. Octa Research Fellow, Professor Guido David. Good morning.
Thank you and good morning.
And we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News.
Talaga pong seryoso po yung PAGCOR na we also give, these operators will have corporate social responsibility projects, and 1% po ng kanilang GGR ang ilalaan para maging pondo ng mga foundations po na ito. And syempre po, kasabay po nitong mga efforts natin for responsible gaming, we are still continuously exerting efforts against illegal online gambling operations. First, we use po an AI-powered tool. This is a tool po that searches the internet regularly, every minute, every second, and then tinatala po nito yung mga hindi po kasama sa registered URLs under ng PAGCOR. After verification, these are reported to CICC, NTC, DICT, PNP-ACG, and the NBI for blocking and for appropriate action. We are very proud po that dahil po sa AI-powered tool na ito, the reporting of PAGCOR has increased by 400%. Dati po, 3,000 po ang naire-report namin sa isang buong taon. But with the use of this AI-powered tool, we have reported 3,000 in the last quarter. So we are continuously improving po the tools that we use for the fight against illegal gambling, and malaki po talagang naging tulong nitong AI-powered tool na to. And also, sobrang laking tulong din po sa amin ang collaboration namin with the DICT, NTC, CICC, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, and law enforcement agencies such as the PAOK, NBI, PNP, and the BI. Dati po, pag po nagpapablock po kami ng websites, it takes more than 2 weeks. Pero po with the help po of the NTC, CICC, and the DICT, nasa 5 to 7 days na lang po siya. And we are working so hard po with a dashboard so that we can improve also the timeline for the blocking. So ito po yung mga ginagawa po talaga natin, pinagpupulungan po natin para po mas mapadali pa o mas mapabilis pa yung blocking nitong mga websites na to. Also po, we acknowledge po that the problem on illegal gambling operations does not only exist in the Philippines. It exists po all over the world. And to learn about the best practices of other countries, we have information sharing with our neighboring countries. Nakikipag-meeting po tayo sa kanila, nagbibigay po rin sila ng presentation sa atin. We also give our inputs on what we do here in the Philippines. And we are very happy na in the next months po, baka po mas marami pa tayong countries na makausap regarding this fight against illegal gambling operations. Ganito po kaseryoso yung problem on illegal gambling. Actually po, the Philippines po, isa po sa malaki yung percentage ng legal. But we are still working so hard para po mas ma-reduce pa natin ito. And then, we continuously review and update our regulatory frameworks. With the fast development in technology, napakadami po talagang pagbabago, napakadami pong mga nauuso na laro, o marami pong nauuso din na mga panloloko. So we are continuously reviewing and updating our regulatory framework so that we will be able to address these gaps. So meron pa alam po ng licensees namin how often we change our regulations because marami po talagang mabilis na pagbabago because of the technology. Next po. And ito po sa mga susunod na buwan, marami pa po kaming proyekto gaya po ng launch of a 24/7 helpline. In coordination po with Seagulls Flock Foundation, we will be launching po a problem gambling helpline. This is a confidential support and counseling for problem gamblers and their families. Pwede po ito via call, text, chat, and email. And this is a strong public health response through early intervention and referral system. And siguro po, after the Holy Week, malo-launch po namin itong 24/7 helpline na ito. And isa pa po sa project po ng PAGCOR in the next few months is the launch of a PAGCOR guarantee application. We have mentioned in the past hearings po that we have a PAGCOR guarantee page. So sa PAGCOR website po, there is a PAGCOR guarantee logo pwede nyo pong i-click yon and makikita po lahat doon ng logos and the websites po ng legal gambling operators, online gambling operators. But now, in cooperation with the government bank and to further ensure that consumers only access legal online gaming platforms, we are aiming to launch a PAGCOR guarantee application. And then, my last slide po. So in the first, I think in the first quarter of 2026, we will be further strengthening PAGCOR Responsible Gaming Code of Practice. This is how we really take these matters seriously, and we will launch localized translations of our responsible gambling tagline. Gambling is addictive, know when to stop, because we want po na sa buong Pilipinas po mapaintindi or mapalagana po natin yung ating advocacy for responsible gaming. So we will also be doing such activities po. So that's all po. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Attorney Fernandez, for para sa kaalaman po ng aming mga kasama, my colleagues here. Mauna po si Senator Raffy magtanong, and then followed by Senator Win Gatchalian, and each senator can ask about, we'll have 10 minutes to ask questions. And then his time will stop pag sumagot na po yung resource person. But anyway, also for the information of everyone, including my colleagues here, that si Secretary Aguda po ng DICT nagpaalam kung pwede siya labas-pasok dahil resource person din siya doon sa fake news hearing. So, anytime, Secretary, you can also go and attend that hearing next door. Anyway, my first question with PAGCOR, yung KYC po, ano po ang bago? Kasi sabi natin KYC, know your client, matagal na ho ito. Ano hong bago? Ano hong dinagdag ninyo na to prevent yung mga kabataan? Ang problem mo sa natin, mga kabataan, na basta-basta na lang makapagrehistro. Ganon din po maging tanong ko dito sa mga ating online gambling sites. Ano po ang bago? What's new with this KYC?
Mr. Chair, during the past hearings po, isa po sa bringing up sa atin na nakakapasok na po sa websites and then tsaka na lang po sila iki-KYC kapag tapos na po nila maglaro. Ngayon po, hinihigpitan po natin na bago pa lamang po sila makapag-deposit ay makapag-present na po sila ng mga initial KYC requirements po nila.
Kasama po ba dyan yung picture nila, yung real time, kung sino yung tao na yun? Kasi karamihan naghihiram lang po dati ng ID. Ngayon, real time po ba makikita ng company, ng gambling site na kung sino yung naglalaro na yun?
Kasama po doon sa KYC requirements po yung name, contact number, valid government ID, and po yung selfie nila with ID po.
My next question is, yung advertisement, wala na nga po sa mga billboard, pero may nakikita po tayo sa mga internet. Okay. Paano ho ito? Ano hong ginagawa natin ngayon para mawala po ito? Kasi nasa social media na po halos karamihan ng tao. Wala naman po nanonood masyado sa TV na and radio. Nasa social media na lang. Ano hong ginagawang bago ngayon ng PAGCOR?
For the legal online gaming operators po natin, we are in the process of finalizing po the implementing rules and regulations for gambling advertisements with the ASC. So kasama na po dito yung mga social media and other digital platforms. So pending review na lang po ito. So we will also be looking at these advertisements. For the illegal naman po na advertisements, we are also monitoring those po, and we are reporting these to the CICC and the NTC for blocking din po, and we also write the platforms na nagpapalabas po nitong advertisements na ito para po hindi na po nila patuloy na gamitin yung mga pangalan po nila sa advertisements.
Okay, my last question before I turn over the questioning to my colleague, Senator Raffy. Yung nabanggit ninyo sa prime time lang pwede sa radio and TV mag-advertise itong mga online gambling sites po natin? Di po ba? Prime time lang.
Hindi po pwede.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor.
All right.
Sa prime time po, bawal na.
Good morning. You're still watching News and Views here on One News. That was the ongoing Senate committee hearing on games and amusement. At this point, let's head over to the Senate for more updates. We have Mobile Journal Marimon Reyes reporting live on the ground. Marimon, tell us what's happening.
Your Honor, sa pangkasalukuyan po,
Angelo, so far sa
ng
pagsisimula
ASC,
ng pagdinigolet ng Senate Committee on Games and Amusement, bago magbigay ng updates ang PAGCOR, actually napag-initan na ni na Senator Erwin Tulfo, Senator Raffy Tulfo, ang kapulisan patungkol naman doon sa online sabong. Kasi sa pagsisimula, itong si Senator Raffy, nagpakita pa siya ng live stream na ongoing, as in during the hearing, live stream daw yon ng isang sabong na ginagawa sa Central Luzon. And ang pinakamayari daw nun ay ang Kingpin. So isa raw to sa pinakamalalaki na personalidad pagdating dito sa mundo ng sabong. Kasama rin daw dyan Region 3, Region 4, sinasabi. So ang kinwestiyon dito, sa 1.3 billion daw na intel funds na meron ang kapulisan, ang PNP, ang CICC, bakit hindi raw matugis ang mga ito? Pero ang pagpapaliwanag naman dito ng kapulisan, tuloy-tuloy naman daw yung kanilang mga effort. From 2022 hanggang at present, over 7,000 na ang na-monitor nila, na-surveillance nila. And halos maubos din nila itong 7,000 na pina-takedown na nila. Yun nga lang, ang sabi ni Senator Raffy dito, yung mga yun daw, yun yung mga maliliit lang daw na mga sabungan. Ang problema daw yung mga malalaki. Ang kasagutan naman dito ng PNP, yung pinlay na live stream ng sabong, ay na-takedown na daw yun. Pero pagkatapos i-takedown, nagbubukas daw ulit ng bagong platform or website itong mga account na to. So nasabi pa, pinakita naman ni Senator Sherwin yung isa na mga halimbawa ng gambling platform or website na na-access nila. Pero nung kahapon daw, nung siguro napabalita na may hearing ang Senado tungkol dito, biglaan namang nawala. So ang sinasabi, persistent pa rin daw to kahit i-take down yung mga website, yung mga platform, lalo na yung mga illegal ones, nagkakaroon pa rin sila ng ibang alternatibo, ibang pangalan. So nagtutuloy-tuloy pa rin yung kanilang mga operasyon. So isa yan sa mga nagiging concern ngayon ng komite na sana raw ay ma-address. Balik sa inyo.
Mary mo na-tackle ba nila? Kasi I remember we were talking to kay Winston Castro before. At they're not discounting the possibility kasi long time ago, I think last year pa to, that yung mga sabong nag-feed sa mga iba-ibang platform ay isang malaking grupo lang. Tsaka yung mga maliliit na lumalabas, iba-ibang ahente. So yan ang kailangan daw mahanap, yung malaking grupo na yan, at kung nasaan yung malaking grupo na yan, at kung live nga sila nagbo-broadcast or pre-tape para rigged yung actual online na isabong.
Angelo, yan yung sinabi mismo ng CICC kanina na yung piniplay daw na video ni Senator Raffy na supposedly live, re-uploaded yun na version daw. So ibang version na raw yun nung originally live stream na isabong. Pero then again, still a very questionable pa rin at concerning pa rin daw yung sitwasyon na yun. And yan ngayon kine-question naman ni Senator Raffy. Yung pinlay niya na live si isabong was from a kingpin of the sabong industry. So malaking pangalan ito. Yung nabanggit kasi na 7,814 daw na platforms or websites na take down na from the e-sabong monitoring, 7,135 daw kasi ang na-block na. Yung mga yun daw, maliliit lang. So ang pinaka-question kanina ni Senator Tulfo, yung mga malalaki, tuloy-tuloy pa rin nila nakikitang may operasyon. So kung re-uploaded man daw yun, o kung nagre-rebrand lang, nag-iiba raw ng pangalan. So yun yung question nila na may 1.3 billion daw na budget ang kapulisan para dito. Bakit hindi pa nila matugis? Lalo pa ipinagbawal na ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Pero ang sinasabi naman ng CICC dito, kung ano rin daw kasi yung nire-report sa kanila ng PNP, yun din daw yung ginagawa nilang tinitake down, kasama rin ng NTC. So nagkaroon din ng medyo pagtuturuan sa pagitan. Pero still, ang pinapangako naman nila, meron naman daw interagency cooperation na ginagawa para masugpo ang mga ito.
Ayun. Isa pa dapat na tingnan din nila kasi even if you are playing an ordinary online game, magkakaroon ng mga biglang pop-up ads, no, ng mga online gambling na mga advertisements. As kunyari mo may pa-consent doon, pero how true, 'di ba? How legit yung mga consent na yon, dapat ma-check din nila. Anyway, maraming salamat sa iyo, Mobile Journal, Marimon Reyes.
The Chinese embassy in Manila has rejected and denounced a Senate resolution condemning its recent public statements against Philippine officials. Here's the report.
Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, is refusing to apologize for using a caricature of Chinese President Xi Jinping in a recent presentation. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano recently insisted that Tariela should apologize for the unflattering images of the Chinese leader.
I find it very weird. No? Bakit ako magsusorry? Kasi nga, ang tanong ko dyan, yung caricature ba na ginawa ko na yon is more than enough to compensate us dun sa harassment ng Chinese Coast Guard sa mangingisda, against the Philippine Coast Guard vessel, sa mga nakaraang taong pagharang nila sa resupply mission. My question is, when was the last time that Senator Cayetano stood up at sinabihan niya Chinese embassy, Chinese government, mag-apologize kayo sa Pilipinas?
Cayetano likewise had an exchange with Senator Kiko Pangilinan ahead of the Senate's adoption of Resolution 256, which denounces recent statements by the Chinese embassy in Manila against Filipino officials. The resolution was formally adopted on Monday. The Chinese embassy rejected the resolution, with spokesperson Ji Lingpeng saying it misrepresents facts, misleads the public, and constitutes political maneuvering. G also criticized support for Tariela, accusing him of attacking China's leader and warning that such actions could undermine diplomatic norms and bilateral relations. Retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio told The Big Story that China cannot impose its domestic rules on the Philippines. He suggested pursuing another arbitration case to assert Manila's claims in the West Philippine Sea. Carpio stressed that the Philippines has sufficient historical records and legal documents to support its position in the disputed waters.
It's a matter of political will. Do we want to bring China to arbitration? Because the last time we did, we won overwhelmingly. And I think we will win again this time because we have all the documents, the maps, we have the oldest historical maps supporting our claim.
Carpio also accepted Senator Rodante Marcoleta's challenge to a debate, saying it would clarify that the West Philippine Sea is recognized under Philippine law.
There has to be a moderator. There will be a time limit for you to deliver your main arguments. You can rebut. That has to be organized that way. Otherwise, it will be chaos.
Meanwhile, Philippine Ambassador to the United States Babe Romualdez emphasized that officials should resolve disputes through direct talks rather than on social media.
In the diplomatic world, we always say that it's better to sit down and have a serious discussion rather than have pronouncements made through social media or in the media, because that will only heighten the conflict even more.
President Bongbong Marcos expects U.S. President Donald Trump to visit Manila later this year as the Philippines hosts the ASEAN Summit. The visit is expected to coincide with the 80th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the United States. Marcos said the country looks forward to continued support from the U.S. in the ASEAN community, building through their comprehensive strategic partnership. Trump last visited the Philippines in 2017 during a previous ASEAN Summit. In an interview with The Big Story, Philippine Ambassador to the U.S. Jose Manuel Romualdez said Marcos invited Trump verbally last July, but they will eventually send a formal invitation.
I think the U.S. The ASEAN Business Council is also very eager to have President Trump attend the summit here in Manila in November. It's a question of timing. It's because after the midterm elections in the United States, timing is very important on when and what the meeting will be like in terms of the summit, and having the heads of state from the ASEAN region and having President Trump here at the same time.
The Supreme Court has ruled that same-sex couples living together can be recognized as co-owners of property if they can prove actual financial contributions. Promulgated on February 5 and penned by Associate Justice Joseph Lopez, the decision notes that while same-sex marriage is not yet legally recognized in the Philippines, property relations are covered under Article 148 of the Family Code. The case stemmed from two women who purchased a house in Quezon City during their relationship, registering it under one partner's name for banking convenience. Following their breakup, A dispute arose over co-ownership and the division of proceeds.
Happy, a little bit happy, para hindi na lang legal gymnastics yung kailangan nating gawin. It signals to us that we are ready. Ganun yung gusto nating iparating.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News and Views here on One News. Groups will hold the 3rd trillion peso march on February 25, coinciding with the 40th anniversary of the EDSA People Power Revolution. For the details, we have mobile journalist Arles de los Santos. Arles, go ahead.
Angela at Diego, ngayon nga ay nagpapatuloy dito sa Quezon City ang press conference bilang paghahanda doon sa ikatlong idadaos na trillion peso march, no, na saktong-saktong kahanay nito yung 40th anniversary ng EDSA People Power. Dito narinig na natin kanina na merong mga plano na symposium, mga misa at concert. Ang iba't ibang mga grupo na kasama sa pag-organize nito, kasama na dyan yung Caritas sa Pilipinas, ang Tindig Pilipinas, gayon din yung simbahan at komunidad laban sa katiwalian o siklab, no? Ayon sa kanila, mahalaga raw yung pagtitipon na ito dahil ito daw ay pagpapaalala yung pagbabawal ng political dynasties, gayon din yung pagtutol sa mga korupsyon na nangyayari sa bansa na nakasandig daw doon sa konstitusyon ng People Power noong 40 years ago nga na ito ay dinaos. So narinig natin na yung event ay magkakaroon ng ilang rundown, no, mula February 12 as early as that. And even today, magkakaroon na ng mga programa leading up to the February 25, no, pero mas malalaki yung mga programa noong sa February 22 kung saan magkakaroon din ng iba pang mga symposium leading up to the February 25, which is kaparehas nga daw noong naging proseso para maging matagumpay yung People Power Revolution noong 40 years ago.
All right, thank you so much, mobile journalist Arles de los Santos. Signal remains unbeaten in the 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference, while Creamline claims its first win of the season. Meanwhile, Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala looks to bounce back after an early exit in Qatar. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho reports.
Signal is now on top of the 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference, improving to a league-best 3-0 record after outlasting Form Fresh in a thrilling four-setter Tuesday night at the Mall of Asia Arena. Despite recovery from acute gastroenteritis, Vanny Gandler rose to the occasion, pouring in 25 points as the Super Spikers pulled off a gutsy 25-17, 26-24, 20-25, 30-28 win to claim solo possession of first place.
I'm really proud of my team because we work really hard and we really try our best to apply everything that's taught to us. We still have many lapses, many things to work on, but I'm very, very happy with how we're willing to learn and improve each training.
In the nightcap, Creamline finally broke through, securing its first win of the conference with a 4-set victory over Chocomucho, 27-25, 17-25, 25-21, 25-15, in front of over 12,000 fans. The Cool Smashers sealed the match with back-to-back statement plays. Bernadette Pons led the way with 19 points and a strong all-around effort as Creamline bounced back from an opening round loss. Meanwhile, Aya Laura delivered a strong showing in her first Creamline Chocomucho rivalry game, but her night was cut short after sustaining a late injury in the fourth set. PVL action continues this Thursday at the Phil Oil Arena in San Juan. PLDT takes on Capital One at 4 p.m., followed by Zeus battling Akari at 6:30 p.m. Filipina tennis ace Alex Ayala is setting her sights on a strong bounce back heading into the Dubai Tennis Championships. This is after her early exit at the Qatar Open, bowing out in straight sets. The 20-year-old tennis ace expressed her gratitude to Filipino fans in the Middle East for their unwavering support. Despite the setback, Ayala continues to make history, climbing to a career-high world number 40 in singles and 99 in doubles. Ayala is now set to compete in the Indian Wells Open in California. Kapatid Denise Valdesancho, we are One News.
Ayan, so yung sa report lang ni Arles, madami daw activities, 23, 24, 25, which this group is saying it started to be one of the biggest EDSA People Power commemorations in recent history kasi nag-die down noong panahon ni PRRD, na FPRRD, nag-die down yung
Ito
celebration.
40th na to.
40th. So,
So,
they have,
milestone.
and may mga differences daw sa way of celebrating but hindi pa, alam ko, maybe later on we have some details kasi nandun. I-release nila. Parang a different way daw of celebrating this time around. May kasamang anger daw against corruption. Alright, and that wraps up today's episode of News and Views.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angelo Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III, kapatid. We are One News.
All sides,